going to do this. Being here, we're going to do the Stryker review. Right here is the Stryker. As you can see, there's been a lot of different posts and mixed reviews about it, so we're going to do a little review. We have the box in which it came in, right here. Inside the box holds everything that you need. Comes with the rip clip, but it also has a neck bead as well that sits right in here. Comes with some parts, some O-rings, some different screws, the apex barrel, and the rip clip. So we're going to gas this thing up and we're going to shoot some. However, my air tank did not have as much air that I thought, so we're not going to be able to do that many shots. And as always, you want a safety first. You make sure that you have your barrel cover on, along with it being on safe and turned off. Carefully screw in the air tank. Safety first. Make sure that you have your mask. And these paintballs were the ones from Operation End War, Texas. So they're not too old. Now to turn it on, got a little button right here. Press and hold, and you'll see the little green light. And then to turn on the rip clip, got another button back here. Press and hold. Okay, see the green light and hear it, and you're good to go. Let's go over here. Got my target down there. Now you're going to want to carefully remove the barrel stock. Make sure you take it off safe. Pretty quiet for a Tippmann. And we're out. Turn off the rip clip. Carefully turn it. And then get the rest of the gas out of line in a safe location. Remove the air tank. And then put your barrel cover back on. With the apex barrel, the barrel stock is a little tight. Alright, we're going to come back over here, turn it off, remove the mask. Now we have the manual here. We're going to go over a couple keywords. This is the Tippmann Stryker. It's a .68 caliber. It's an electronic pneumatic open bolt blow forward spool valve system. Has a power supply of a 9-volt battery, which is located in the grip. That's one 9-volt battery, and we're going to take it apart and we're going to go over it. And then there's two 9 volts in the rip clip. We're also going to go over that as well. It has a 200 round capacity in the hopper, and the max speed is 10 balls per second. It has an electronic trigger system, and the effective range for it is 150 feet, 45.72 meters. And both of those have a plus at the end, so it can go higher. So we're going to start off with our trusty multi-tool. Personally, I like Gerber, and I think every paintball player should have a little multi-tool. It's very handy. So you're going to want a flathead screwdriver to remove the rip clip. Going to take these off, and then once you get them loose, you can just unscrew them like so. Now, in my other video, I was telling you about these screws. This threaded end, screws into the rip clip, and then you have this other thread, which holds this plastic spacer. So once you get it in tight, you can adjust to fit snug to hold the rip clip in place. I'm going to set those over there, lift it up. Here is the spacer. Now you want to make sure that you have the spacer in between. It's also a guide to make sure that you fit it right over the hole of your Tippmann Stryker. So if you get those two put in place, like so, then you're ready for your screws and the rip clip to be put in place. We're going to set that off to the side, and we're going to first start with the rip clip. There's a little clear button right here. You just pop that, it comes apart, and then you have a little divot. Just place your finger in there. Now it is snug for a good reason, because that exposes all the internals. You have your two 9-volt batteries, which fit in there really snug. Make sure that you don't lose these. They'll fit in there. That is to hold the screws in place. And that is the internals of the rip clip. I'm going to set those off to the side. Actually, we're going to set them on the ground. That way we have a place to work on the Tippmann Stryker. Now let's get down with the Stryker. Got the apex barrel. I'm going to remove the barrel cover. The apex allows for trick shots. You have a little knob right here, which will turn the paintballs at a certain degree, so you can go around corners or whatever. Now to unscrew the barrel, get a nice tight grip around the shroud and just turn. The shroud is attached to the barrel, and the shroud is able to be completely taken apart so you can clean it or remove it if you don't like the look. The barrel it is an auto cocker thread barrel, giving the player more options for different barrels. So if you don't like this barrel system, you can go out and buy a different auto cocker barrel. Just one step forward to a universal barrel. And the apex barrel is able to turn around completely, but I always like to keep it lined up with the sight because I don't use it. I've had one before, and when I used it, I shot my wife in the tree. So stuff happens. You have an adjustable back grip right here to fit the taller guys with lengthy arms, or go all the way down to your short people. It comes with sights, but personally a sight on a paintball gun or marker is pointless, if you ask me, because you can't get your mask down far enough to look down the sight. So it's more for aesthetics. Alright, let me get back my notes here. Now you're going to want a 5/64 Allen key. And this package comes with everything. You got your, I'll just empty it out right here. You got all your different size hex keys or Allen keys, hex wrench or Allen keys. I like to call them Allen keys. Right there. You got your numerous size spacers or O-rings, all different assorted sizes, and they're color coded. And they come with three different screws as well, and eye cover, or I think that's the ball stopper. Alright, so first we're going to get out the 5/64 Allen key, and we're going to remove the grips, which is the small one. All these screws should be snug. Make sure that you don't lose any of them, but just in case, they do give you some backups. And we're going to remove the grip to reveal the battery. Got a 9-volt battery right in the grip. Just take the rest of it off. Now take the grip, and what I always like to do is I like to put the screws back in. That way you don't lose them. You're going to set it right there. Take the other two. Without dropping them. We're going to put it back in place. We're going to set that right there. Then we're going to take the battery. We're going to disconnect it. Set the battery right there. Then the next step is we're going to need you have the large 1/4 Allen wrench or hex key, and that goes right here, and that is to adjust for the velocity. As you can see, very easy to turn. I'm not going to mess with that because it still has to be chronoed. So we're going to set that one off to the side along with the small one. And then you're going to want your 7/64 hex wrench or Allen key. And first thing we're going to remove is the top sight. Oh, you don't have to remove the top sight. We're going to remove the back shroud, which is the smaller Allen key. Again, fairly snug, so you don't want to apply too much force. There's one. Just kidding, you do have to remove it. Just loosen it, pull it back. It's in there pretty snug. There we go. There's two. There's that. Now we're going to remove the rest of it. Show you all the internals. It has 4 screws. One, two. Three. 4. Pull that off to show the internals. Like I said, I always like to keep the screws where they belong. I'm going to set that right over there. Then you have one right inside here. Got another one. And that is the internals. Now the breakdown of the bolt. Let me get back up my notes. Got 2 screws right down there. Should be the same size Allen key. And it's recommended to tear apart and clean every 8,000 to 10,000 shots. Which there hasn't even been that much. The only time that I shot it is on this live video. These ones are a tad bit trickier. So while I'm getting this out, we're going to go over the firing system. I was shooting semi-automatic. You have the option for burst fire, fully auto, or ramping. And all those are going to be changed by a little button on the bottom located next to the trigger well, which is right, if you guys can see it, right there. Tiny little button. You're going to want to put the Allen key in right there and press, and then you cycle through them on over here by where you turn it on it, which will all be located in the manual, as long as you read the manual, which, let's be honest, we're paintball players. Not that many people read the manuals. There we go. Drop that one out. And this should... Oh. Forgot about these two. Got these two right down here. It's located on the bottom of the grip. 1, and 2. And there it is. There's the internals. This as far as we're going to break it down. You got your board. And the lines for the air. Now this is an air only marker, HPA only. Do not put CO2. If there's anybody still using propane, don't use that. HPA only. Now, when you turn it on, the first time you turn it on, when you see the little green light, that the eyes are automatically turned on. If you press the button again, it turns the eyes off. The eye plate covers are right here, and that allows for a non-chopping. That way you don't feed different, like misfeed and chop the ball inside the the well, and just it's a mess when you do that. So it's pretty nice not having the option to where you don't chop. And we're going to reassemble it. Well, any questions right now? Feel free to ask. No? All right. Take the plate. Back plate first. Put it on. Put the stock back in. Screw it back down. Take this. Put it back in. I did it that way it's holding the internals in place, so it'd be easier to put the screws back in. Remember, you always want that snug fit. Don't crank it down, just snug.
They want to know if that's a max solenoid.
A max solenoid?
Yeah.
And we'll have to look in the manual for that. Honestly, I'm not sure. Actually, I'll get back to you on that. I'm not too familiar with electronic markers. I'm sorry. But I will find out for you. Snug. Replace the covers. Bump it forward. Got 1, 2. The reason why I like to keep the screws in place. Now they're all right there for me. Screw them in. Always remember, keep it snug. And like I said, got 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 2 are for the bottom. Got the long ones for the back. There we go. One. Two. We're going to put these little ones in there. Long one goes in the back, short one to the front. Switch Allen wrenches. One. Two. Replace the sight. Make sure it's facing the right direction. And slide it right on the Picatinny rail here. Now the way that they had it, it breaks down, the upper receiver breaks down. Right here there's a little line that connects the backstock and the front, and they have it facing right on the little crease right here to where they break in half.
Jeremiah Bolt wants to know, how is the shot quality? Is it crisp and snappy or smooth and slow?
Oh, it was actually pretty quick and snappy. Pull the trigger, fired. There was no break points in it, as you saw earlier. Everything, it was dead, pretty accurate, actually. Now we're going to put the grip back on. 5/64.
He said, so no rise, no snap. Jeremiah did.
Well, I didn't mess with the apex barrel. It was straight on coming out of the barrel. The balls were. They didn't really curve at all. But you're going to have the difference when you purchase different paint. If it's not a .68, it may change. We're going to put the 9-volt back in. The 9-volt fits fairly easy, right in the grip. Got the little wires, but just tuck them back in. .5/64 again. Then we have these 2 screws holding the grip. These ones you definitely do not want to tighten down too far. Otherwise, this is a rubber grip. You could possibly blow straight through the rubber grip. I did it on my first 98 when I replaced the grip, and it's not nice. Then that doesn't stay in place, then you have to go out and buy a new grip. There's that. Gonna pick the shroud back up. Screw it back in, like I said before, auto cocker threads, which personally I think is pretty nice. And every time you screw it in, lines back up. There it is. Put the barrel cover back on, like that. Now I'll show you with the rip clip what I was talking about. You got your 2 screws right there.
Hey.
Yes.
Jeremiah was talking about the shot quality, not the accuracy, barrel or paint. The feel when it fires in your hand.
The feel when it fires? My bad, Jeremiah. The feel when it fires, it doesn't snap back. There was no kickback at all. It was nice and smooth. I used the CS1 for my final battles at Viper Games, and it felt similar to that. There was no kickback. It was shot extremely well. When you pulled the trigger, you didn't really feel it fire, but you could tell that it was firing. So all in all, I think it's a smooth fire. Take the spacer, line it up with the Picatinny rail. Fits in perfectly. Take this piece, put it on, line up the holes, flip it around. Fits together just like a puzzle.
Dustin wants a drop test.
We will get to that. That's why I'm putting it back together. Everybody wants to know how durable these new Tippmanns are. So we will find out.
Danny wants to know the trigger pull firm or hard. Sorry, hard.
The trigger pull was nice and smooth.
Soft.
Soft. Yes, it wasn't hard. It was...
Way to go.
I know, right? It was extremely smooth. Hold on while I line that hole back up. It's harder to see. There we go. And no, that was not your drop test. The rip clip is a little difficult to put on if you're trying to do it one-handed, as you noticed. Now, like I said, screw these all the way out. Then take your flathead, turn it to where they're nice and snug.
Is the rip clip, is it the same drive system as the rip clip used on the TM15? Danny wants to know.
I had the rip clip from the TM15. The internals look different. I'm not sure if it's the same system or not. The look of the rip clip on general looks different. I'll have to get back to you on whether or not it's the same system, just in a different body. But I think they remodified it. Alright, you have the top. Slide the front in first. Got a little hole. Put it in the hole. Push the back button, which is clear. Push it in, drop it down. And we're done. Now we're going to drop test. What everybody wants to know. Alright. So, like many players do, you're running on the field, and the marker slips out of your hand, and oh no! Pretty good, nothing broke. Or you're sliding into a bunker, and oh! Again, pretty good. That's from the grass. Nothing broke. got a little dirt, which is obvious because it's paintball. Alright, then over the head, sometimes it flies. Seems pretty durable. It is a hard plastic, not the normal metal or aluminum what they use. Seems pretty durable. I wasn't sure about the rip clip because it feels like a different type of plastic that they used, but it held up. I will be at Living Legends and I'll be bringing this with me, and we'll give you a chance to look at it in person there.
Danny says you need to shoot it now that it's been dropped. Danny, I don't know if you were here for the beginning of the video, but he did not have as much air as he thought he did, and he wasted pretty much all of it.
You know what? We'll see.
You want to try it?
We'll see how much air we have. If people want to see how it shoots after it's been dropped, we'll see how much air we have. Once again, safety first. Nice and easy. We're going to turn back on. That is the green light right there. If you press it again, like I said, the eyes turn off. Got the rip clip. Alright, then we're going to take it off safe. And we will remove the barrel cover. I think we might be out of air. Oh. Oh. Hold on. I don't think I aligned the rip clip right. Like I said, when I let me make sure that the rip clip is aligned. Turn it off. Back on safe. Turn the rip clip off. Sorry about that, folks. Just going to make sure that it's all aligned. And then we'll commence with the firing. And leave it there. That's what it was. It was not aligned. So like I said, you want to make sure that that spacer, put in that one in first. To align it up. Tie it in snug, then snug up spacers. Alright, mash back on. Back over here, we're going to turn it back on. We're going to take it off safe. As you notice, there is a little bump, but hardly any. And we're out. Gonna turn it back off, safe. Put the barrel cover back on. That way I can take my mask off. Alright, so as you noticed, after the drop test, it still fired. It was my mistake that I didn't have the grip clip aligned properly first off. So once we realigned it, it fired great. Was there any other questions? Alright, we will be at Living Legends this year, Living Legends 9. I will have stickers like these that I will be handing out. The only difference is it will say hashtag BanePB. I asked on my Facebook page what y'all thought about it. Got some really good feedback, so I went ahead and ordered some so that you guys can get them in your hands, put them on your cars, put them on your markers, put them on your computers, whatever.
Okay, we have one question.
Yes.
What do you think on a scale of 1 to 10 of this marker?
On a scale of 1 to 10. It's an extremely nice marker. Holding it, durability is really good. I'd probably give it about an 8. The only reason why is because I am a MagFed player. I wish there was a MagFed marker. However, it is a great starter marker. Shoots perfectly. I've had the batteries in there, haven't disconnected them for the past couple of days. Comes with the sling right here. So for the players that like to attach the sling, you can attach it single point. There's no Picatinny rail up here. That is the AR1 Elite that has the Picatinny rail. This is the MP2 Elite. So the AR1 Elite will have the full Picatinny rail, give it more like an M4 look, which I like the M4 look a little bit better. But all in all, it is a pretty solid marker. Be about 400, I believe. 400. I don't know. I'll have to look up the price of it and get back to you. But for that price, it's a great starter marker. Comes with everything you need besides the mask.
Yeah, Dustin wanted to know if it's stocked with an e-grip.
Yes. It's e-grip, electronic grip.
Oh.
Yes, it has an electronic.
It's the electro-pneumatic marker.
It has an electronic grip inside, which is powered by the 9-volt battery. Any other questions? Alright, well I hope to see you all at Living Legends. You can find me on Facebook as Bane Colton, or you can go and like my page as BanePB. I'm also on Instagram as BanePB and YouTube as BanePB. Alright.
Also, if you have any more questions, he can answer them later on if you message him or comment or anything.
Yes. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.